Alright, today we're going to quickly, the notes should be short today because this is all review from Math 1 and really from middle school. But we're looking at all things triangles. So we've talked about how, or we're about to talk about, I've been recording so many videos, but all angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. And we have three different types of triangles. The first type is called a scalene triangle, and that's when none of the sides are equal and none of the angles are equal. So let's write all three sides and angles are different. And the picture you'll see with this definition is one line on one side, two lines on a second side, and three lines on the third side, indicating that none of these are the same, and also none of the angles are congruent either. Isosceles, which is the one we see a lot, is that two of the sides are congruent and two of the angles are congruent. So the image you'll see with isosceles is a marking on each leg, and then the base angles are also congruent. And then last one, equilateral, is that all sides and angles are congruent. All three angles would be 60 degrees and all three sides would be congruent. Alright, a right triangle has one 90-degree angle. An obtuse triangle has one angle that's over 90 degrees. An acute triangle has all angles less than 90. And equiangular triangles are triangles that all angles are congruent. Alright, then we have the triangle inequality theorem. That means that the sum of any two sides of a triangle must be greater than the third side. So always check the smallest two, because then we'll know that this is true. So, would the following make a triangle? So the sum of any two sides has to be greater than the third. So let's always check the smallest two, because then that will make sense. So 3 plus 2, is that greater than the third side? No. Let's check the smaller two here. 8 plus 11, is that greater than our third side? Yes. Now we're not squaring anything yet, but next we're going to talk about the Pythagorean theorem. And this will determine if it's right, acute, or obtuse. So we'll come back to these in a minute, but on the next sheet of paper, we're going to define what the Pythagorean theorem converse is. So most of you guys know if a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then it is a right triangle. The next one is if a squared plus b squared is less than c squared, so you're squaring two sides, adding them together. If that's still less than that third side, that means this third side is really large. So this is going to be an obtuse triangle. And then the last one is if a squared plus b squared is greater than c squared, the triangle is an acute triangle. Kind of opposite of what you would think, because it's greater than, but it's acute. But it makes sense if you think about it. Again, if you're squaring both sides and adding them together, and that's still smaller than the third side squared after you've added two sides together, then it's going to be an obtuse triangle. So that's what you're going to do in these. So let's just do two together, then I'll let you fill in the rest of the notes and check your answers on Canvas. So, number 1, 3, 7, and 9. First, you want to check if it's a triangle. Remember, you have to make sure that the two smaller sides added together are greater than the third side to be considered a triangle, or else it's just a line segment. So this one works. 3 plus 7 is greater than 9, so it is a triangle. Then you square it to find out what type. So setting up your Pythagorean theorem, we have 3 squared plus 7 squared, so we have 9 plus 49, so that's going to be 58. And then 9 squared is 81. So 58 is less than 81. So that's going to give us an obtuse triangle. Number 2, first of all, add your two smallest sides. Are they greater than the third side? Yes. 20 plus 21 is 41, which is greater than 29. So then set up your Pythagorean theorem. 20 squared plus 21 squared is blank 29 squared. You might have to use your calculator on this one. So we have 20 squared plus 21 squared. So that's going to be 841 is equal to 841. So that's going to give us a right triangle. Go ahead and try the rest of these and then check your work. Thanks, guys.